The men broke when they saw the last child in the safe room torn apart by a zombie while still alive. Final part. I rushed to support her. Her voice was a ragged whisper. That bastard son of mine. He barricaded every path. He set up defenses to make sure no one could interrupt her precious birthday. Her eyes were red with a furious, helpless rage. A chill crept up my spine, and I stumbled backward. Jason had been so determined to keep me away that he had blocked his own mother. No! We can't just give up. I looked around at the terrified faces. If we can't get our own team, we'll call for outside help. I scrambled to the emergency comms, frantically cycling through the frequencies for other nearby outposts. I finally got a response and quickly explained our situation, begging for aid. There was a long pause on the other end. I'm sorry, the voice finally said. We can't send help. An hour ago, we received a priority communication from Captain Jason himself. He warned us that someone at your base might be making a false distress call. His direct order was to disregard any and all requests for aid from your location tonight. He had gone this far. To protect Serena's birthday party, he had proactively severed every lifeline, calculated every possibility, and sealed our tomb. His mother's face went white. This is Jason's mother. I'm begging you, ma'am. The voice interrupted, still cold and professional. The captain was very specific. He said we should especially disregard any orders coming from you. He stated that unless you came to our gates in person to request aid, no assistance would be dispatched. The line went dead again. In person? A journey of dozens of miles through a sea of the dead? It was a suicide mission. The breach in the door was temporarily patched, but we all knew it was a flimsy fix. I put my arm around his mother. Mom, I'll go with you. I glanced at the fresh pool of blood on the floor, my voice hard as steel. Everyone here is counting on us. If we stay, we die. If we go, there's a chance. She looked at me, a deep, searching gaze, and finally, she nodded. We moved through the darkness, me supporting her as best I could. Her left arm was gone, torn clean off by a zombie. Blood still streamed from the wound. Just over this ridge, we're almost there, she gasped. From halfway up the mountain, we could see the distant lights of the neighboring outpost. Hope surged through us. And then the world exploded. A firework, a military-grade flare, detonated right in front of us. The shockwave threw us violently through the air. Dazed, I looked up toward the summit and saw him. Jason, with his arm around Serena. His mocking voice boomed across the valley from a set of loudspeakers. Arya, I knew it. When playing the victim didn't work, you decided to try brute force, didn't you? His voice turned to ice. I knew you wouldn't give up on ruining Serena's birthday. I won't let you succeed. The explosions intensified, a deadly rain of light and fire. Mom, you have to tell him it's you. I screamed. His mother gathered all her remaining strength and yelled toward the summit. Jason. For a moment, there was silence. Then, Jason's laughter, louder and more maniacal than before, echoed down the mountain. The distance was too great. He could only make out our silhouettes. Arya, you really will do anything to ruin this for her, won't you? He shouted. First you get my mother to lie for you on the phone, and now you've hired an actress? An amputee, no less. Did you really think I'd fall for that? His mother trembled with rage. It is me, you fool. It's your mother. Can't you even recognize my voice? For a split second, I saw a flicker of doubt on Jason's face. But Serena immediately tugged on his sleeve, her voice trembling with manufactured hurt. Jason, I know Arya has never liked me. Maybe we should just cancel my birthday. We can go back. Her voice dropped to a whisper. It's okay. I'm used to it. That was all it took. Jason's face hardened, his rage renewed. Keep firing, he commanded. More shells rained down, completely cutting off our path. The moon hung high in the sky, a cold, indifferent witness. There's no time, his mother said, her grip tightening on my shoulder. I'll draw their fire. You have to go. You have to get help back to them. She shoved me away from her. They're all waiting for you. She began to stumble toward the summit. I scrambled after her, grabbing for her remaining arm. Mom, no. They don't recognize you. They'll kill you. Jason's voice, colder than the grave, echoed from the peak. Arya, if you're so determined to die just to spoil Serena's night, then I'll be happy to oblige you. He shouldered a rocket launcher. The next second, a massive firework shell screamed toward me. Arya, look out! His mother threw herself at me, tackling me to the ground and shielding me with her broken body. Boom! The explosion was deafening, a physical blow that nearly shattered my eardrums. A thick, hot spray of blood covered my face. Her body went limp on top of me. Her back had been blown open, a gaping, cavernous wound. My hands trembled as I reached for her, feeling only the warm, sticky wetness. I shook her gently, but there was no response. A raw, animal cry tore from my throat. Mom! Serena's delicate voice floated down from the speakers. Arya, you should probably push the body off the cliff. Otherwise, the zombies will smell the blood and come for you. Several of the guards on the summit had witnessed the whole thing, their faces etched with uncertainty. A younger guard leaned toward his friend. She didn't look like she was faking it. He hesitated. What if she was telling the truth? What if something really happened at the base? His friend cut him off. Are you crazy? The captain would know if something was wrong. It's just her, being jealous of Serena again. You know how women get. But the young guard persisted. But what if? Our families are down there. A squad leader stepped in, his voice sharp. The captain wouldn't risk our families. End of discussion. A moment later, I was dragged roughly up to the summit. My body was a mess of cuts and bruises, caked in a mixture of blood and mud. Serena approached, her face a perfect mask of concern. Oh, Arya, you're bleeding so much. Here, let me help you. She reached out to touch me. Don't touch me, I snarled, slapping her hand away with enough force to make her stumble. Arya, Jason roared. Your pettiness knows no bounds. Serena is trying to be kind to you, and this is how you repay her? He stalked over and stomped on my pinky finger. It seems you'll never learn without a little punishment. A blinding, white-hot pain shot through my entire body. I curled into a ball on the ground, but my own agony was nothing. The people in the safe room, they were still waiting. I forced myself to look up, to meet Jason's eyes. Jason, I said, each word a shard of glass. The safe room is about to fall. Every minute you waste here, another person dies. Don't you hear them? I pleaded, my voice cracking. Don't you hear the zombies at the walls? At my words, Serena burst into tears. Jason, I'm so sorry. It's all my fault. I shouldn't have had a birthday. I shouldn't even exist. He pulled her into a protective embrace, his voice dripping with venom as he glared at me. How long are you going to keep up this act, Arya? The base has the best defense system on the coast. How could it possibly? I cut him off, despair turning my voice hollow. All of your elite guards are here, protecting you and her. All the power for the electric fence has been rerouted here for your light show. Jason, you are going to regret this. At this, several guards exchanged uneasy glances. Captain, maybe we should send someone to check? The young guard asked tentatively. An older guard beside him scoffed. You must be new. She pulls stunts like this all the time to get at Miss Serena. This isn't the first time she's cried wolf. Yeah, another chimed in. Remember when she claimed Serena pushed her down the stairs? Jason's face grew even darker. Take her, tie her to that tree and let her think about what she's done. In his arms, a triumphant smirk flickered across Serena's face. I fought with everything I had left. Jason, if you don't go back now, everyone's families, your family, will be torn apart and eaten alive. My only answer was a vicious backhand across the face. The more you do this, Arya, he hissed, the more I hate you. Just as they dragged me toward the tree, it happened. WEE, a blood-curdling siren screamed up from the base below. It was the level 1 emergency alarm. The failsafe. It meant the safe room had been breached. No survivors. Everyone froze. The older guard who had been mocking me was the first to react. He stumbled to the edge of the cliff, his eyes wide with horror as he stared down at the base. The primary alarm. Oh God, the primary alarm. My wife, my little girl, they're in there. The young guard's face was sheet white, his lips trembling. In the dead silence, I looked at Jason, my voice barely a whisper. Do you hear that, Jason? They're all dead. This is the fireworks show you bought for Serena with all of their lives. Are you satisfied now? Even your own mother, the woman you claim to respect more than anyone, you killed her, too. The siren's wail sliced through the night, a sound no one at the summit could deny, sharp, final, and impossible to fake. The older guard collapsed to his knees, his hands clawing at the dirt as he screamed his family's names. The young guard stumbled backward, tears streaming down his face, while others stared at the base below in numb disbelief. Jason's arms went limp around Serena. The triumphant glow in his eyes faded, replaced by a flicker of panic, then rage, hot and unyielding, as he refused to face the truth. No, he snarled, his voice cracking. This is a trick. Arya, you did this. You hacked the alarm to ruin everything.